For some background, I'm the youngest of four girls. My two older sisters, Roxy, 32, and Demi, 30, have kids. My third sister, Mia, 27, doesn't, and is getting married at the end of the month. I, 23 female, also don't have children, but my partner and I hope to have some in the future. The oldest sister lives overseas with her husband, and so is mostly irrelevant in this situation. However, Demi and Mia don't speak. However, Mia's having a child-free wedding. She's aggressively child-free. We don't really get along. Our parents are old farts. LOL, I love them, and can no longer drive. I can't drive either, but my husband and Demi can. She's a single mom and has no one to watch her kids. She has disabled children, so finding care for them is a little more expensive. Usually it's irrelevant because I don't work, so I babysit. The one time we were all unavailable, it was $60 an hour for the one sitter who could handle the kids' needs. My husband and soon-to-be brother-in-law hate each other. They grew up together, and there were just lots of hard feelings there, so my husband wasn't going to the wedding. I was going to have him drop me off. In the end, last weekend, after months of anxiety, I said I'd stay with the kids so my parents and sister could go. She'll drive them instead of my husband and will attend in my place. Once we decided, my husband gave me the okay to work on the day of the wedding. My sister Mia lost it at that, then decided she would have someone else drive our parents and asked me to come. I told her no, Demi wants to go. I'd rather her there anyway. As if one of our parents falls, she knows what to do. Mia lost it and said that I was being selfish. This is where I may be the idiot. I then told her I didn't see the point of going to an event that half the family would be missing from, referencing the kids. She said it shouldn't matter to me because I don't have kids. I then said that they were better company than her and point blank refused to attend her wedding. Even if the kids have a babysitter, which my sister now offers to pay for, I won't go. She's so upset. I feel a little bad, but not much. My oldest sister Roxy says I'm in the right. Demi says she feels really bad. Our parents aren't acknowledging the situation. I think they just want to see their daughter get married. Am I the idiot? I can definitely see both sides of this, and I'm conflicted. The more I think about it, the closer I get to apologizing and offering to go, even though I don't want to. You are the idiot. You lied, OP. You didn't want to attend the wedding and used this as an excuse. You're only an idiot for lying. If you don't want to go, just say it. The whole no kids is a BS excuse. Just tell your sister the truth. No one seems to like each other, and you've forgotten that she can have any wedding she wants. What is aggressively child-free? And what does it have to do with the wedding she wants? There's just so much anger here. Wow, dysfunction is strong in this family. OP, you don't see the point in going to your sister's wedding because small children won't be there? That seems harsh. It seems you were, for some reason, looking for a reason not to go to this wedding, then jumped at the chance to bail. What a weird hill to die on when you don't have kids. Let her decide on her own wedding and settle down over being outraged. Update. Am I the idiot for refusing to go to my sister's child-free wedding, despite not having kids? My sister-in-law, husband's sister, and soon-to-be brother-in-law, sister's almost husband, dated in high school. He got her pregnant and dipped. He tried to force her to end it, accused her of cheating, the whole shebang. When she had the baby, she had a DNA test done and sued him for child support. The entire time he was slating her name, making her feel horrible, trying to force her to put their son up for adoption. When their son was 5 months old, he passed away due to an undetected medical issue. She was suffering and hospitalized. Brother-in-law made a post about being free from the shackles of his baked, draining baby mama and went on a partying streak to celebrate. Insists she's a bad mom, even now, and has never visited his son's grave and skipped his funeral. He didn't tell his own family members that he'd passed away, and they also missed his funeral. My husband hates him. He ended up having to work overtime to pay for this funeral as a 15-year-old because brother-in-law refused to step up. He doesn't even acknowledge his son. My sister-in-law is still recovering, no thanks to him, but she's welcomed a baby girl in the past year, and she's a fantastic mom. The term bad blood is an understatement. My brother-in-law doesn't even know we know he's the father. My sister-in-law doesn't want to deal with him, and if we mention it, he'll show up on her doorstep, acting all nasty and get back in her face. It's not something anyone wants to deal with. I don't know if Mia knows the way he acted when he got a girl pregnant. He probably told Mia his side of the story. She has an unspoken dislike for my sister-in-law. Even if I told Mia, she wouldn't care. In situations like that, she views the person her husband was as in the right because he was forced to keep a baby he didn't want. His reaction was normal, etc. She would still think he was in the right. That's just the person she is. The backstory makes you not the idiot, unless you go to this wedding. Future brother-in-law is a monster, and I couldn't support my sister marrying him. I wouldn't be able to be polite to him. He's evil, and I don't use that word lightly. What this man has done, and continues to be unapologetic for, is the kind of thing that means decent people should not socialize with him. I cannot fathom people knowing this story and still going to the wedding, still supporting your sister marrying this demon in human skin. Being a human being, remember your nephew. Do not give a gift. Do not attend. Do not make nice. Do not pretend he's anything other than evil garbage. OP, how is this not your reason for not going? Why are you using babysitting as an excuse? Your sis is marrying your husband's enemy. That's enough reason right there. If Mia dislikes your sister-in-law, I guarantee he told her a completely fabricated story to make himself look good and her like the monster. It's really weird that no one in your family has talked to her about what this guy did to your husband's family. Like, I would think if any of you care about her at all, you'd at least be sure she has the facts before she marries him, since it's likely her fiance made up some BS to make himself look good. Then after that, you can let her make whatever choice she wants. Oof, mama, y'all got way bigger issues. Even if your sister is trash, she deserves to know all of this. Tell her the truth. Tell her why her future husband is garbage, and you see no reason to endorse their marriage. I, 24 female, own a home with my husband Andrew, 25, that we've been slowly renovating for the past 2 years. We decided to forego spending money on a wedding or a honeymoon and instead got a cute but very old house. My sister Jenna, 30, and her husband separated a few months back, and she's been staying with us until she can get back on her feet. Things were mostly fine in the beginning. I've never had issues with my sister before, and she's always liked Andrew, so I never thought there would be any problems. Andrew and I have always been a snuggly couple. It's nothing over the top, just forehead kisses, hand holding, and arm hugging, mostly. I will admit that now that I'm pregnant, due in late December, Andrew has been way more snuggly. If he's not fixing something in the house, sitting at his computer working, or running an errand, then he's probably either touching my belly or thinking about doing it, LOL. He's excited about being a dad, and I think it's really sweet, so I don't mind. Jenna's been passive-aggressive about it since he started doing it. She rolls her eyes in annoyance or makes a bit of a dramatic show of leaving the room. It's honestly been annoying, but Andrew and I have mostly just ignored it. Last night, when I was curled up on the couch not feeling well, Andrew brought me a drink, kissed my forehead, and then touched my belly, while jokingly scolding our baby for making me sick. Jenna huffed, but she waited until Andrew went back to putting some furniture together in the other room before she told me that I needed to stop being such an insensitive jerk by flaunting my happy marriage in her face. I told her I was sorry that she was going through a tough time in her own marriage, but I wasn't flaunting anything. And it wasn't like Andrew and I were doing it to torment her. She said we were inconsiderate, and that as long as she's staying at our house, we must keep our affections confined to our bedroom. Finally, I said that it was our home, so I wouldn't be asking my husband to only act affectionate towards me behind closed doors, and that if it was really that difficult for her to see us together, then maybe she'd be better off staying somewhere else. Well, that upset her because she packed some of her stuff up and left shortly afterward. Today I've been getting all kinds of messages from our mom saying how cruel it was of me to toss Jenna out, and I got a message from Jenna saying she still can't believe how insensitive I am about this. Andrew has assured me that I wasn't being cruel or insensitive about any of it, but I still feel unsure. So I wanted to get some opinions from people who are removed from the situation. Edit. Jenna was staying with my husband and me instead of our mom because we have more space at our house than our mom does in hers. It's also a shorter commute to Jenna's job from here, so it was for convenience. But I do want to make a point of saying that I love my sister, and I wanted to be there for her while she was going through her separation. She was also made aware that I was pregnant almost a month before she started staying with us. I found out early on, and she was the second person I told. I'm also not a huge fan of excessive displays of affection in front of others, so I didn't really think that Andrew and I had crossed a line or had been overly affectionate in her presence. Not the idiot. She's just jealous. It doesn't sound like you two are over the top. You have a great marriage, and you and your husband are cute. Your sister can't tell you what to do in your own house, and you didn't toss her out. She chose to leave. Your sister trying to drag you into her misery is just sad. You also may currently have everything she wants: a house, a happy home, a great husband and marriage, a baby on the way, and you're 6 years younger. Maybe kids were one of the issues in her marriage in some way too. Agreed. OP's sister probably didn't realize how much seeing a happy marriage would affect her, given the situation. It doesn't sound like she's taking her separation well, but hopefully being out of OP's house, she can sort her feelings without feeling like her situation is being thrown in her face. Jenna should stay with Mom. Explain to your mother that Jenna was not kicked out, but decided to leave because she was angry that she wouldn't cave in to her unreasonable and entitled demands. She's making her insecurities your problem. I'm sure it is annoying and hurts her, but that's her issue. You're offering her a roof over her head, and she's being ungrateful. She needs therapy. Plus, I would add that you're pregnant, and if your mom continues to stress you out, you'll need to block her for the remainder of the pregnancy so she doesn't stress out the baby. I, female 28, have 2 younger siblings, male 24, female young teen. My brother's married and has a toddler daughter. My parents and sister live in the same city as my brother. I live in a different city a few hours away. In the last few months, my sister has complained that my brother invites her to his family outings, only to use her as a babysitter for our niece. He'd ask her to restaurants or parks and make her watch the child while he and sister-in-law enjoyed themselves. She decided to stop going out with them, and our parents supported her, even talking to my brother about it. Despite their talk, my brother didn't take it seriously. He wanted my sister to join a road trip. It was like 3 days, 2 nights kind of thing, leaving on a Sunday and coming back on Tuesday. My sister didn't want to go, and my parents said no anyway because she'd missed 2 school days. Keep in mind that our side of the world, it's not summer, and kids are in school here. Last Sunday, when our parents were at church, my brother showed up at our house and told my sister to get in a car because they were going on a road trip. She said she didn't want to go, but he insisted, and they both, sister-in-law and brother, made her get in the car. When she was in the car, my sister texted me and told me the whole thing. She said she had texted my parents too, but she didn't think they were reading her messages soon because they were in the Sunday service. So I called my brother. I reminded him that our parents had said no, and my sister didn't want to go anyway, so we better turn that car around and drop my sister back home. He dismissed me, claiming I was not the boss of him. I asked him if he knew that what he did was kidnapping, and I warned him that I would call the police if he didn't return my sister home right away. He laughed it off and hung up, so I called the police. The police found them quickly since they hadn't left the city yet. Our parents didn't press charges, and the whole thing was dropped quite easily and quickly. My parents were furious at my brother, of course, but they were divided about what I did. My mom is angry at me for involving the police. She agrees my brother was wrong, and I had limited options since I'm in a different city, but she thinks I went too far. Especially because my toddler niece was in the car too, and it must have been a scary situation for her. So am I the idiot? Not the idiot. And your mom needs to bloody well open her eyes. Your brother's using your sister, going so far as to take her away, and she thinks calling the cops was bad? Heck, I would have pressed charges if my son pulled a stunt like that. No more unsupervised visits with the sister, and your dad needs to talk some sense into your mom. Is your brother her golden child? Yeah, mom's reaction is bizarro. A toddler's not gonna register a car being stopped by the police. Her young teen sister must have been terrified the entire time. Tell your sister that it's okay for her to call 911 too, and the next time he leaves his kids with the police for the abandonment of a child. A worthwhile learning experience for your brother. Not everyone in his life will enable and excuse him like your mother. I, 29 female, married my husband, 30, about 7 months ago. We had a big wedding welcome guest party the day before, brunch, etc., all covered by us. My husband's aunts on one side and all of his cousins came, 9 people total, and they didn't even get us a card. We've gone to multiple weddings for people in his family and have paid for our flights and hotels. Some were destinations and given at least $300 every time. It honestly made me sick to my stomach when we saw that they didn't even give us a literal $2 CVS card. My husband was bummed for a minute, but then just got over it. He's an oh well kind of guy with pretty much anything. My husband recently said they were all catching up over text and asked us to go on a cruise with them in March, saying they would love to see us. I told my husband that I wasn't comfortable with that after what happened with the gifts at our wedding. He scoffed and said that no one necessarily deserves a wedding gift and we should be happy they came. These are not really people I want to be close with. I imagine we'll get stuck paying for everything as we have in the past, since there's just a little care. I feel like they tend to be selfish and use us for things, and I don't really want to spend my money and vacation time on a cruise with them versus doing something else. Lunch is fine, but not a whole vacation. It isn't that I need an expensive gift. One guest brought us these wine glasses that she found at a thrift shop for $4, and they're beautiful and one of my favorite gifts. Not only are they beautiful, but you can tell how much thought she put into the gift and wrapping. It's that they came and didn't even bother to get us a card or really wish us well. It just felt disrespectful. My husband is upset with me and says he can't really go by himself since it's all couples. We're at an impasse. Am I the idiot for refusing to go on the cruise because they didn't get us a wedding card or present? Not the idiot. If I were being used like a cash cow on vacation, I'd never vacation with those relatives. And as for the wedding issue, I'm sure I'd be on the same page as you. Horribly rude to not even give a card. So rude. As you said, it's not the amount, it's the thought. I'd be irritated at my husband for being blasé about it. Stand your ground and refuse to go. They have a history of taking advantage of whatever wealth you have without showing any gratitude, also known as leeches. I get that it's hard for your husband, but he'll have to find a way around that for himself. If you feel they're using you for your money, that's the convo you need to have with your husband, not a convo about the lack of a wedding gift. Exactly. It's not about the wedding gift. That's just on the surface. Underneath, it's about them taking advantage of you and then disrespecting you. And you're correct, OP. You and your husband will get roped into paying for everything. If you want to go on a cruise, go on a romantic cruise. Who wants to spend it with them? No. FYI, nobody can make you pay for their vacation. Set some boundaries and refuse.